Hey guys, welcome to day 7. Let's put all of our treatments together and see if we can really make some nice changes in your body. And remember, if you feel like you've made changes just in the last 7 days using towels, you are going to blow your mind when you actually start using the Melt products and treating your hands and feet. It will literally transform your life and how you move and how you feel from day to day. So to start our treatment, we are going to be doing the rebalance sequence. So just like we've done before, I want you to roll 2 towels up so that we can lie the length of the roller. And then before we do the low back release sequence, we'll just use one towel and roll it up. Okay, so go ahead and set your roller aside. Go ahead and lie on your back, palms faced up, arms and legs extended. Use your body sense, scan your masses and spaces. Take some nice breaths in and out. So hopefully some of this is going to start really sounding familiar. Use your body sense, scan your masses and spaces for stuck stress. Remember, what's ideal alignment and what might you feel if stuck stress is living in your body? Instead of your head feeling centered behind the bridge of your nose and your arms feeling evenly weighted and your mid-ribs feeling nice and relaxed to the ground, if you have stuck stress in your shoulder girdle, your head will feel off-centered, the space of your neck might be short on one side, one arm might feel more weighted than the other, and most or all of your back weight's going to be propped on your shoulder blades. You could take that moment also to turn your head left and right. Also a great evaluation of stuck stress is limitations in neck turning. So any pain or limited range is your sign we want to hydrate that tissue and improve stability of the cervical spine. Bring your head back to center, key into your low back curve. Ideally, we have a small distinctive space from the navel to the top of the pubic bone. If you feel like that arch goes well beyond the belly button and you're really feeling the tenseness of that mid-back, make a note, neurocore efficiency is needed. Notice your lower body masses and spaces. Ideally, you're weighted on 2 evenly weighted butt cheeks. Notice if your tailbone's on the ground, sign of stuck stress. Back of thigh masses might feel more like spaces off the ground. Maybe the knee space is unevenly lifted, the calf mass unevenly weighted. Maybe your legs are so turned out that your ankles hit the ground. And remember that footing, we like the feet to feel like a letter V. Notice if your feet are pointed out to the sides of the room or your toes are pointed away from your ankles. Now remember, after even 7 days, are you noticing changes in your first rest assess? You might actually notice that some of the common imbalances you were feeling initially aren't there, which is a great sign that your body is really starting to take to the treatments. Divide yourself into a left and a right half. Remember, ear to heel. Do you feel balanced from left to right, or is your autopilot out of balance because of interference from connective tissue issues? And again, those 4 most common imbalances: weight on the shoulder blades, big arch in your mid-back, tailbone on the ground, or back of thigh off the floor. 1, 2, 3, or all 4, what do you feel? Bend your knees, roll yourself on your side, and come on up to sitting. So if you started off feeling all 4 common imbalances and you're already noticing that some of those imbalances seem to be a little bit less apparent, good sign that we're making some good changes in the body. So let's go ahead and take our towel rolled up. We're going to go ahead and set it on our mat. Come on up onto the towel from head to tail. Forearms on the ground. What's the very first melt move we're going to do? Gentle rocking. I hope that that's what you said. We're going to go ahead and do gentle rocking. Now remember, with a rebalance sequence, maybe today close your eyes entirely. Maybe you can do this entire treatment just by listening to me and not seeing me do anything for you. So remember, gentle rocking is just tipping your head, ribs, and pelvis equally from right to left. If I tied a string from your nose to your sternum to your belly button to your pubic bone, all the masses are simultaneously tipping and just gently rocking to reconnect the autopilot to the center of gravity. Then come back to a center point. Place both hands on the front of your pelvis. Gently tuck your pelvis, pubic bone towards your nose. Tilting, back of the sacrum gets heavy atop the roller, low back curve gets light. Tucking, we lose some of the low back curve. Tilting, we return it. 2 more times. Tucking, noticing that that belly can stay relaxed. We can really use that more deep core system, not the superficial muscles of rectus. Tilting, the ribs stay quiet. 1 more time, tucking and tilting. Now let's go for our 3D breath breakdown. 1 hand on your chest, 1 hand on your belly. Take 3 slightly slower than normal breaths into your body, expanding the diaphragm, from a midline up to both hands, down along the roller, and then release. 2 more here. Expanding the breath, feeling both of your hands rise equally, and then exhale. And one more time, breathing depth, and breathing out. Then bring both hands onto the sides of the ribs. Same thing, breathing width into the body, expanding the ribs widthwise. Exhaling. Breathing in width, thinking of the ribs expanding away from the spine, away from the sternum. Exhaling, feeling everything come back to midline. One more time, breathing width. And then releasing. One hand on your pubic bone, one hand over your collarbones. This time, length breath all the way down into the bottom hand through the pelvis, all the way up to the top of the collarbones, lengthening through and then exhaling and finding the midline. Again, lengthening through and exhaling. And one more time, lengthening through and exhaling. Both hands come onto the belly for the 3D breath to activate the core reflex, breathing into all 6 sides of the body, exhaling with an SH, SE, or HA sound. Feeling that hugging action, pelvic floor lifting, back body engaging, front body. Inhale, let it all go. Again, inhaling, letting it go. Let your natural exhale initiate the breath. Feel and follow. See if you can draw your conscious mind to that hugging action. Breathing in and expanding. Exhaling, feeling and following. Take your arms up into the air. Keep your mind on your core. Allow that shoulder blade reach, gliding the shoulder girdle up and down away from the rib wall, noticing for any shrugging. Doesn't need to be the biggest motion, just carrying control and awareness to the shoulder blades being what's moving. Don't allow your ribs to arch. It's just the shoulder girdle gliding up and down along the rib wall. Let's add a move today. Let's go ahead and let the shoulder girdle go heavy and just try to draw some arm circles. Now keep your arms above the level of your torso, slicing through the midline. When your arms come about to the level of your forehead, circling the arms around, keeping your arms above the level of your torso. If you feel any clicking, popping, snapping, or crunching in the arms, in the shoulders, anywhere, just slow down, make the movement smaller. If you have any type of shoulder issues, you might even want to put your hands on your shoulders and draw circles with your elbows instead to hydrate the whole shoulder girdle today. One more time, all the way around. Then taking the shoulder girdle nice and heavy, try your double arm reach. Remember the hands look like they're more toward the hips rather than out to the sides of the shoulders. Scooping the arms like you're holding a ball over your torso, flexing and extending the wrist for that neural flossing. Making fists and doing it, seeing if that makes any difference in what you feel in your forearms. Notice over the last number of days if you feel like you freed up a little of the tension in your forearms by practicing these techniques on your own. Turn your palms upside down, flexing and extending, or making fists. Nice breath in and out, find your core. And then go ahead and set your palms down to the ground. Collarbones are wise, nose tips up. Let's try neck turn reach, slightly turning your head to the right. Energize your left fingers away from your right head turn. Breathe in here. Exhale, find your core. Bring your head back to center. Energize your right palm to the floor, turning your head to the left. Slow breath in. Exhaling. Bringing your head back to center. How about palms faced up, trying to imprint the thumb to the ground, slightly turning your head to the right, taking a breath in, exhaling, finding your core, energizing that left thumb to the ground. Inhaling, coming back to center with your head. Exhaling, slightly turning your head to the left, energize your right thumb away from that head turn. And then bring your head back to center. Allow your arms to rest, and let's just add a little gentle rocking. Now that we know what it feels like, you might actually feel like you actually gently rock and catch your body a little bit more quickly, a little bit more aggressive in your gentle rocking. Then when you're ready, go ahead and roll onto your side and slide the roller out from underneath you. Let's take that quick mid-check-in. Lie flat on your back, palms up, arms and legs extended. Notice if you feel more balanced in the masses, if you're feeling like your ribs are more relaxed to the ground, maybe the arch of the back less tense, more butt cheeks or back of thigh to the floor. Also noticing if the autopilot makes the changes and restores its connection to your center of gravity. Do you feel more balanced from left to right? And quickly turn your head left and right. Let's notice if we've made any changes here. And then bring your head back to center. Okay, roll yourself on your side, come on and up to sitting, and let's go ahead and unfold our mats and just take one of the towels, and we're going to go ahead and roll that one up into a thicker roll. We're going to just roll it on up. And I showed you a move called rib length. So let's go ahead and do a rib length here. Again, drawing some of the hydration that we did in the upper arms into our body. So remember, we want to have that roller somewhere around the shoulder girdle so that our pelvis can stand a tuck, and with just a towel, you should feel like your low back is on the ground. Hands go behind your head. Take a breath in, and on an exhale, try to extend over the roller. Now check here as you breathe in. Are the bottom of the ribs losing their anchorage to the ground? If the answer is yes, tuck your pelvis a little bit more, and then side bend to the right and breathe into the left side of your body, noticing for tightness over there. Back to the center on your breath in, side bend the other way, same thing, breathing in. And this time just side bend right and left and just notice your range of motion. And we'll come back to this after we do our lower body length treatment. Just notice what it feels like to side bend. And then come back to the center. Take the roller out from underneath your back and lift up your hips. And let's bring that roller underneath our pelvis. Now we did some other techniques the other day. I said, hey, bring your legs into your body, gently rock your knees a little bit left and right, even though we don't have the curved surface and that more focal compression that we would have. Let's tip our knees over to the right side and let's create small circles over here to create a direct shear right at your SI joint. Or you can keep your left leg still and you could circle just the right leg. Or you can bring your legs together and you could just gently march your knees forward and back. And then we're going to bring our legs back to center. We're going to pause here for a second. Nice breath in and out. Let's tip our knees over to the other side. Same thing. We're going to create some small circles. Remember, we could keep that right leg still and circling the left leg. If you feel popping, snapping, cracking, thunking, we want to make the movement smaller or slow down. Bring those legs back together and just subtly march your legs forward and back. And then again, we'll bring our legs back to center. We'll pause here for a moment, give the tissue a moment to adapt. And then bring your legs back to center. Let's start with a bent knee press today. So let's go ahead and set our right foot down, ball of the big toe outside of the foot and the heel. Tuck your pelvis, bring your left knee into your chest, energize your right knee over your toes. Feel that nice long tensional pull over the front of your thigh. Remember to notice if that right knee is swinging out to the side, we just want to keep it aligned up. And then set your left foot down to the ground. Bring that right knee into your chest. Same thing, tuck your pelvis, energize your left knee over your toes as you use that leg to accentuate a tuck. Inhale and exhale. Take your hands away from that right leg, kick your leg out low and long. Flexing the foot, find your tilt now, landing the pelvis back to the top of the roller. Flex your foot, and let's flex and tilt the pelvis to the top of the roller. Find that fascial pull down the back of your legs. Let's work with hip to heel rotate, trying to get a little bit of tensional pull down to the side of the leg in the spiral and lateral lines. Keep your leg turned out to the side, bring the leg across the midline. Don't lose the weight of the pelvis. Flex your foot, sink the back of the hip into the roller. Feel that pull all the way down your leg. Keep that knee straight. And then bring your leg back to center and let it go. Let's try it on the other side. Kicking the leg out low and long, flexing the foot, bring your leg on up. Again, keep that active tilt, right? We want to keep the knees straight. Before we get to perpendicular, we flex and tilt, sinking the back of the pelvis. 3 times, we rotate that thigh in and out, feeling the translation of the pull from the back of the leg to the side of the leg. Then keep that external rotation. Bring the leg across the midline. Flex your foot, sink the back of your hips toward the roller, and then bring your leg back to center and set the leg down. Now, we're going to try our drawbridge. Bring your knees into your chest. You're going to interlace your hands over the front of your left shin. Bring that right leg up into the air, and like a drawbridge, we're going to go ahead and let that leg lower down. Remember, we have to keep the tuck. So energize your right leg, bring your right arm overhead, lift your head, look to the left, reach your fingers away from your toes. Slow breath in. Exhale, tuck, 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 tuck. Sink the back of your ribs. Hold that nice heavy tuck. Take one more breath in here. Exhale. And then let it release. Let that hydration occur to the front of the belly. Then left leg comes up. Again, use that right leg to sustain your tuck. Let that left leg lower on down. Keep the integrity of the leg. We're going to take our left arm overhead, lift our head, look to the right, reach your fingers away from your toes, get long, and then exhale and tuck, 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 tuck. Keep the ribs anchored this time. Take another breath in. Again, find your core. And then let that go. Both hands in front of your thighs. We're going to move the thighs away from us. Take a breath in. Keep your thighs pressing into your hand. Tuck your pelvis. Keep the ribs anchored. Tilt the pelvis. Breath in on the exhale. Tuck your pelvis. Sip of air. And then tilt your pelvis. Exhale and tuck. Sip of air. Exhale and tilt. One more time. Exhale and tuck. Sip of air. Exhale and tilt. Now keep that tilt. Let's release your low back. Take a breath in. On an exhale, press your thighs to your hands, pelvis to the top of the roller, ribs to the floor. Make your SHSE or HA sound until there's no breath left. One more time, breath in. Exhale. Awesome. Set your feet down. I want you to lift up your hips. This time, take your towel and you're going to bring it behind the back of your skull, right? So right at the center of the back of our head, with your nose slightly tipped up into the air, take a breath in. On an exhale, subtly just nod your nose down about an inch. Keep your head pressure constant on the towel. Take another breath in. Exhale and lift your chin up. Breath in. Exhale and nod your nose down. Breath in. Exhale and lift your chin up. One more time. Exhale, nod your nose down. One more breath in. And lift your chin up. All right, get rid of that towel. Let's reassess. Lie flat on your back, palms up, arms and legs extended. Okay, tune into your upper body, head, arm, and torso. Notice if your head feels more centered, if the arms are more balanced, and if you have more weight on your ribs. Turn your head left and right. Notice if you freed up a lot of range. Wow, decreased pain for sure. I did today. Bring your head back to center. Notice the arch of your back. If you were feeling like you had a lot of tension in your mid-back, notice if you have a nice lift in your low back with no tension, below the belly button. Notice if you've got more butt cheeks to the ground instead of tailbone, or if the back of the thighs have settled to the floor. And even notice if your foot angle has changed from that treatment. If the autopilot's really regaining some control, muscle activation will start to come back up online and your legs might feel more balanced from left to right. And of course, if we divide our whole body into a left and a right half, if we feel more balanced from left to right, we've made the changes that we're looking to make to restore balance to the body. Bend your knees, roll yourself on your side, and come on up to sitting. So if you felt some changes not using the Melt products, I hope you realize that using the Melt products will really give you much more profound changes. And remember, connective tissue is a fluid system. So what we've done already, ideally your body sense is heightening, you're starting to notice those subtle body changes because those are really profound. We don't realize all the accumulative stress that fascia possesses that alters our sensory motor control, our muscle balance and synergy. So if you've enjoyed this, I hope that you'll become a member of Melt on Demand and learn hundreds of different self-care techniques in the categories of pain, performance, and lifestyle. You can search by body part, you can search by time, and of course, if you have one of the Melt Method books, we also have the Melt Book Companion Collection and the Melt Performance Book Companion Collection. If you've got the books, those video collections will walk you through the book step by step and refine your practice. They are really the best place to start on Melt on Demand. Now, listen, if you have body pain, the Melt Method book collection is going to be your best go-to place to get started. It'll walk you through some other techniques, ways to modify moves using either the half roller or bolsters. If you're an athlete and you're leading an active lifestyle and you're looking to minimize joint pain and improve stability and control, the 2 R's of neurostrength, neurological reintegration and repatterning, is what you're going to learn in the Melt Performance book. You'll also learn some more nuanced techniques to really restore some neurological balance and control. Now, the other thing you're going to find on our app are the hand and foot treatments. There's over a dozen different types of hand and foot treatment techniques, and whether you're dealing with arthritis or you just want to maintain your grip and your overall balance and stability, treating your hands and feet, especially if you have neck or low back pain, is really the foundation of the Melt Method. You're going to learn a lot about how quick you can change back and neck pain just by treating your hands and feet. And again, there's hundreds of different videos on low back pain, on reestablishing knee stability, or if you're dealing with shoulder issues, or again, you're playing a sport and you want a prep map before you play or a recovery map to reduce your chances of having repetitive stress injuries. You're going to find everything that you need on our app. And I hope you'll keep melting at home. Whether you have the products or not, you always have a towel, and now you know the method of melt. Enjoy and happy melting. Stay pain-free.